Okay, so I got a cluster I'm working on. Customer brought it in because they had somebody rebuild it for them, and they didn't program the proper mileage. It was a few thousand miles more. They kept trying to get in touch with them, and on top of that, it wasn't calibrated right. So they thought. Problem wasn't that it wasn't calibrated. Problem is that whoever rebuilt it, somebody here locally in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, fried the board. If you can see, there's supposed to be a silver contact right here. There should be another one right there. There was just a big glob of solder right there. Small guys that just do stuff for hobby and they do it properly. But there's a lot more guys out there that may be advertised on Craigslist and all that do not know what they're doing or think they know what they're doing and do stuff like this. You know, at the end of the day, it's just a hustle. They're just trying, I guess, to make money for their bills. But, you know, come on, you know, at least if you're going to charge somebody, do it right. But that's one of the reasons why you see these other guys that are cheaper. Then these were actually the gauge motors that were on, which are the proper gauge motors. Yep. But there's one right there. But if you notice, when they were putting them on, you can see right there, there's yeah, I burned the heck out of my fingertip right there with the soldering iron, and the skin's peeling off. Anyway, they burned right there, which basically they got pretty close to the gauge motor with the soldering iron, which means they don't know what they're doing. They don't have proper skills. There's another burn. There's a good burn right there. Look at that. There's another one here. This is for the speedometer. It's missing completely. And there's some more, but too much heat. Not enough heat. Using a solder sucker like this, which I go against. I use it when I want to be a little quicker, but there's a technique to use these. Just like there's a technique to use desoldering wick, and if you don't use either one properly, you know, if you're like, oh, you know, if you watch a video on YouTube and see somebody, well, you know, what's there to it? You put the solder iron on the over there, heat up the solder, and bam, you're done. No, it's not that simple. I'm sorry. It may seem that simple to you, but there's a technique. There's a certain way of doing it. Because if you go in too early, too late, especially using solder wick or the pump or whatever, or improperly, what'll happen is, especially if there's too much heat, when you go over here and do that, it'll pull the pad right off. Because these create, even though they're small, they create a pretty decent amount of vacuum. If there's too much heat on there, you know, a pad will come off with too much heat to begin with, without even putting a solder sucker on it or what.